Good morning, everybody. Happy game day. It is Tinker time for week 3 of your fantasy football season. And this is a time where the wrong decision can turn that win into a loss, or the right decision will turn that loss into a win. And that's what we're going to help you with.
It's about that time.
Stoned on Sports.
How's it going, everybody? You're tuned in to Stoned on Sports Fantasy Football. My name is Matt. Got the co-host Kyle here with me today, and it is, at least for me, my favorite episode, Tinker Time. It's kind of unscripted, freestyle. We talk about whatever, and we're here to help you with those last-minute lineup decisions. Kyle, how's it going, dude? What is your confidence level for your matchups this week?
I'm feeling pretty good, even with CMC and Ken Walker being out in one of my leagues. So I'm still feeling pretty good. I think that's in the podcast league, actually. CMC and Ken Walker out, but we'll make it work. Ready for football all around. Red zone, 1 p.m. I'm gonna hang out with Scott Hansen this afternoon for 7 hours of commercial-free football. No other way to spend a Sunday.
I agree wholeheartedly, dude. I'm just trying to find the inactives list here. Do you happen to have that handy or no?
I looked and there wasn't anything a big surprise on there. Pittman is going to play.
Is he?
Yeah.
I see Herbert's going to start despite that high ankle sprain, and that seems like a tall task to try and avoid TJ Watt while you're dealing with that.
Yeah, really. That Pittsburgh defense is pretty solid at every level. So, I mean, Easton Stick isn't going to give you a chance to win at all. And I mean, with Harbaugh being the coach and Greg Roman being the OC, I think they're already run heavy offense and they'll try and make it as easy as they can for Herbert.
Yeah, I mean, they're a team predicated on the run game. It's what they're going to do. Pittsburgh has a damn good defense. And, like most teams, they play a little bit better at home as well. And we've got a little bit more of a balanced schedule today. I know it always kind of sucks when you only have like 3 games in the late window. Today there's 5, but we've got the 2 Monday night games, which I'm not really a fan of. But, I also didn't get a vote when it comes to that.
No,
unfortunately, they didn't hit me up there on X and say, what do you think if we do this? Because I would have said, no, don't do that.
Right.
Please. Right. Oh, man.
That didn't log me into DraftKings. What the hell?
Way to go. We got Blue Jays there in the chat. Welcome, brother. Good morning to you, or good afternoon. I know you're in the Eastern time zone like us. He needs some roster help. That's what we're here for, buddy. Pop it in the chat. We'll get you squared away. We'll help you out. It's early in the season, and let me get your opinion on this, Kyle. How many weeks do you think it takes before you truly understand what your team is? For me, it's usually around that 4 or 5 week mark where I'm like, all right, I'm pretty confident that I know what dudes are going to be about this season.
Yeah. So it cut out exactly when you said the amount of weeks.
Oh, I said 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, I'm 3 to 5, depending on league size. If you're in a 10-team league, I think you're going to know a hell of a lot sooner.
I think that's fair. I think that's a fair bet.
But I'll go with 3 to 5, 4 to 6, somewhere around 6 seems actually too much. But pretty much, bye week starting week 5. Really, I'd like to know before the end of the week 4.
Makes sense. We got a couple questions in the chat here. So Dubo's got to flex 1 spot. Pick one. Calvin Ridley, Brian Thomas Jr., George Pickens. I think that look says it all. That's a tough decision there.
I think it's Ridley. But Brian Thomas has really been getting a lot of the love in Jacksonville, him and Gabe Davis. instead of Christian Kirk. Still blows my mind. Pickens, I just don't. I don't like that matchup this week. Even though Chargers defense isn't great, but I just love the passing offense of Pittsburgh less. I go
Yeah,
with Ridley on this one. Green Bay doesn't seem like they can. They definitely can't stop the run, but I'm going to go with Ridley on this one.
I think I'm going to agree with you there. Dubo says in the chat he's lowest on Pickens, and I think I am too. He's in a vacuum. I have no problem starting him, preferably in the flex. I've heard some other people say, fire him up as a wide receiver too, and if that's what you drafted him as, I get it. We're only in week 3. Brian Thomas seems pretty like big play and touchdown dependent. I'm going to agree with you and go with Ridley. And it's not because I believe in Will Levis or anything like that. I just think he's got a decent shot to do something today. Good luck, dude. Blue Jays needs a wide receiver and a flex out of Steele, Sutton, Jennings, Watson, Myers, and Isaiah Likely. Yeah. He says he's leaning Jennings and Steele.
Yeah. I think you answered your own question there, Blue Jays. I mean, I never want to just jump on the bandwagon of, oh God, you got to get Steele and you got to start him and all this. Same thing with Jennings. And Jennings makes sense because he's going to be the number 2 guy there with no Kittle and no Debo. But yeah, I think you answered your own question there. Sutton, you can't do. Knicks can't get the ball to anybody. Watson, I don't like it with Malik Willis. I think either Jaden Reed's the man there for wide receivers while Willis is under center. Myers, I mean, you're 3rd behind the pecking order there behind Devontae and Brock Bowers. And Likely, that's tough. That's it. I don't like it. Not this week. Still, Dallas, I think Likely could get something, but with Mandrews and them and splitting snaps and out there at the same time, who knows who's going to get the ball? Yeah. Steele and Jennings.
Right. I'm for sure in on Jennings. Steele, I think you're hoping for a touchdown, honestly. I would entertain the thought of Sutton. I think they're smart enough there to understand like he's probably your best playmaker on offense. At least at the wide receiver position, they need to get him the rock and find a way to do it. Bo Nix has not looked great, but again, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Like Denver's path to victory is not Bo Nix throwing the ball 44 times. It's absolutely not. It's establishing the run to help set up the pass. Damn.
I don't know. Even I realize Tampa Bay is still kind of beat up in the backfield. They're a lot healthier than they were last week. And even so, they looked really good against the Lions. I'm not feeling great on the Sutton thing.
Yeah, and I almost wonder, I don't know.
You gotta hope he gets one and the defender falls down and he runs to the end zone.
I think for either one, you're hoping for a touchdown. Either way. To make the day.
Definitely. So I guess we're a little bit split on that, but Jennings definitely feels like a good volume game for him. I'd like to see what he could do, seeing 8 targets instead of 3 or 4.
Sure. Blue Jays has a survivor question too. Bengals or Bucks or Seahawks?
I hate these. I think a lot of people blew it in their survivor pool the first week. I think I know of a couple people that picked Cincinnati to beat New England week 1, and they're already done.
I think the Bengals are a good pick. They're going to be chalky though. I think Seattle is a good pick, and we were talking on Thursday specifically about that game and Jalen Waddle. Skylar Thompson is not a good quarterback, but he has been in that offense for 3 years now. He understands the offense. It's an offense predicated on timing. Granted, it's a little bit more difficult to develop that timing if you're not getting reps with these dudes, but still, I think the Dolphins might be able to make a game of it. I think the safest pick, even if it is the chalkiest pick, is Cincinnati. That Washington defense is just terrible.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that's what I go with, but without my league does a survivor pool. The winner gets to pick their draft a little
Draft slot.
winner gets to oh, okay. Yep. I'm like draft a lot. That's kind of cool. 5 guys are already out. It's tough. Just because, I want to look ahead to the rest of the schedule and see where I should be plugging these wins, where that makes more sense to plug these wins in versus now, this week. It's tough. It's survivor shit stuff.
Hell yeah, it is. Any
And
given
with
Sunday,
the parity, yeah, exactly. With the parity of with NFL, you just never know. Yeah, Bengals.
Yeah, it's the safe pick. It'll be chalky, but it is what it is. That Eagles Saints game looks pretty intriguing today.
Yeah, the total's pretty high, 49.
It is, and people are gonna. I'm curious to see like which Derek Carr shows up. Yes, he's had 2 awesome games, but he's only attempted like 44 passes or something like that. So just a ridiculous amount of big plays. And you and I were talking earlier in the week about how we didn't recognize the opportunity with the change in OC there with Clint Kubiak coming to town. And you are froze. All right. Blue Jays thinks Bo Nix is a fraud. I don't necessarily know that he's a fraud. I don't think he's being set up for success. He is a really experienced quarterback. I think he started more games in college than any player ever, and kudos to him. There's some talent there, but at the same time, it's also what the hell?
Wow. How does it have me in here twice? There we go. I guess we're good. That was strange.
Yeah, it was.
Ugh. Oh, thanks.
Oh, Blue Jays, he's got big news from Canada. You can get beer and wine at gas stations now, so the LC is in trouble.
Oh, God. What?
Sunnyvale residents in shambles.
Yep. What is Mr. Leahy to do?
Not a whole hell of a lot. He did.
Got to dispatch Bo Bandy to the gas station, I guess. Is there still time frames on that? Like years ago in Michigan, it used to be you couldn't buy anything before noon or something on Sundays.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? It's since changed. I can't remember how long ago, but hey, at least we're not in dry counties, right?
Yeah, we have that like time restriction here too. Like when I first moved here to Indy, you couldn't buy alcohol at all on Sunday, but you could go to the bar and drive home.
Yeah.
But you can't just, go to the store and drink within the safety of your own home.
Yep.
What do I know?
It makes sense. Oh, he says 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. used to be 11 a.m. Yep.
Hey, man,
crazy.
You got to get your fix.
If I want to get drunk at 9:15 on a Sunday morning, I should be able to do so.
Let me get.
I might have to start hooking for cheeseburgers if my bets don't turn out. Hell yeah, man's got to eat.
That's it. $10 or 5 Dairy Queen coupons.
Yeah. I love it. God, such a great show. So I disappeared. We were talking about Eagles Saints. I don't know what else was said.
Oh, well, share your thoughts.
You started to say what version of Derek Carr are we going to get? I think you're going to see probably relatively close to the same. I think they're really thriving in that Clint Kubiak system that is so connected with the Shanahan system in a lot of ways. I like that. The Eagles struggle on the back end. Their secondary still not great. The Saints are at home. They always play pretty tough at home, but especially defensively. I like the Saints in this game. I think they'll cover the 2.5. I
That
still like
line moved a
Devonta.
lot.
Yeah, it did.
5
It
points.
did.
It opened to Eagles minus 2.5.
Yeah, love Devonta Smith in this game, of course, with AJ Brown still on the shelf. And it'll be interesting to see if we'll start to see a little bit of more Olave take over a little bit more with, being the wide receiver one there instead of the deep show Rashid Shaheed, who's been putting on quite a show so far through 2 weeks.
I can dig that.
And then Kamara, I still think he's a great play. I think he's going to do well today as too. Is Watson a drop at this point? Blue Jays wants to know. We're talking Deshaun or C-Watt or
I'm sure it's Christian Watson.
Oh, okay, yeah, until Love's come back. Okay. A couple RB handcuffs I wouldn't mind to pick up. Williams for Kamara. I don't necessarily think that's necessary. Jamal Williams.
No, I don't think
I like
he's got much
Emmanuel.
left
I like
in the
Emmanuel
tank.
Wilson better than Jamal Williams.
I think Christian Watson can do very well when Jordan Love comes back, and it's looking like it's probably going to be next week.
Yeah.
He was, we'll call it a threat to play today. I guess if you really feel the need to handcuff Jacobs, I get it. You're really invested there in that Green Bay offense, having the both of them as well. Kyle, you know all about investing heavily in one offense with your shares of the Houston team. He also brings up Jacoby Myers. I would probably drop Myers before I would drop Watson. Gardner Minshew has done fine, but I just don't see him supporting 3 legitimate pass targets, at least for fantasy. Myers will have a couple decent games interspersed here and there, but I don't think he's going to duplicate what he did last season, just based on the usage we've seen early this year.
Yeah, I agree. I'm holding on. If maybe if Love was out another few weeks or something, maybe I'd consider moving on to just, you got to get some points somewhere and hold on to that guy. Getting nothing ain't good, but with him coming back next week, I agree. He's a hold for me.
What do you say we build a DraftKings lineup?
Sure. We'll still be answering questions. Just throw them in the chat, guys. We'll stop what we're doing.
All right. Why don't you start this week for us at, whatever position?
Well, it would help if I was in the right section here.
All right.
Stand by.
We're waiting, buddy, with bated breath.
If
you guys there in the chat have any selections, pop them in there. Any thoughts you might have?
I know it might be kind of weird, but I think that I kind of like Purdy today. Rams defense is beat up. I realize, he's got a couple less skill position players there to throw to, but I still kind of like it. The Rams are
in rough
hurting.
Shape.
They're hurting, and I think Kupp would have went on IR, but they already have, I think, 6 of their 8 IR to return this, eligible to return this season, covered full, and it sucks for them because I think otherwise he'd be on IR.
All right, I don't mind that Purdy pick. Let's pair him up with somebody, and it really comes down to Brandon Ayuk or Juwan Johnson.
Juwan Jennings, you mean?
Juwan Jennings. I think I'm going to go there just for a little bit of salary relief, and he should get plenty of usage. At $4,100, save us a little bit of money there. Your turn, my friend.
Your turn. Your turn. All right. I like Pollard today at running back at home versus Green Bay. Their run defense hasn't stopped anybody yet so far.
I
He's
can
the
dig
man
that.
there. He's getting, 18, 19 touches a game. I like it. Blue Jays in the chat. Jennings or Whittington. I think I lean Jennings just because we
Same.
just said the Rams are kind of in shambles, and Whittington's probably going to be third or fourth down the pecking order behind DeMarcus, a little Tyler Johnson, a little
Tutu Atwell will be around. You've
Tutu
still
Atwell,
got
Kobe
Kyron.
Kyra. Yep. So I think Jennings is going to get way more volume than Whittington. Great question, man.
Blue Jays says JSN is great. He thinks he's in for a big day.
Well, Dubo said he's in for a big day. Blue Jays agreed.
I like
they're
that.
kind of that guy's the young guy. They're kind of pushing Tyler Lockett out, and Geno Smith's having a great year so far.
Where is he at? Screw it. Why not?
JSN?
Yeah. We'll take a little feedback from the audience.
How much is he?
$5,400 US.
So that was much easier because I could just scroll. All right. How about a tight end?
I have a feeling this could be Laporta's breakout game. Sun God didn't get a whole lot of usage in the first week. They corrected that last week. Laporta's not really gotten his big game yet this year. I think there's a chance that, that gets rectified today. You could throw a dart between Mandrews and Likely. I think there's going to be some points scored in that game, despite the reputation that those defenses have. I think McBride is a decent play.
Yeah. Bowers ain't horrible against Carolina.
And he's pretty cheap.
Ferguson, I like him too, but Baltimore's pretty tough against tight ends, and he's coming back from that. I think it was MCL.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Bowers has been the hot hand, and he's only $5,400. Let's stick with that. I think
All right.
Las Vegas should probably still win that game. I think Carolina is going to put up more of a fight than they have the first couple weeks with Andy Dalton in there. A sneaky, very contrarian play would be Adam Thielen, who had 14 targets the last time those two played together.
Yep. Adam Dead Body Thielen. All right. So you pick tight end then, basically?
Sure.
Let's knock out the defense and see what we got playing with for rest of money. Who's the defense?
The Bears are cheap as shit at 2,600.
Yep. That's exactly what I was going to say. Let's do that. All right. So we got a running back, a wide receiver, and a flex to go.
You know what? I think there's going to be some points scored in that Lions-Cardinals game. I'm going to go with Marv here at receiver.
Marvin Harrison Jr. All right. So we got 13-1 left.
Yeah. Blue Jays says he didn't watch as much Lions, but he feels like they're getting away from what brought them success last year. That's reasonable.
Yeah, the play calling's been suspect for sure through the first couple weeks of the season. I'm not really sure why everybody's healthy. The O-line is healthy. They should be able to do anything that they did last year and more.
I agree.
But, the NFL's weird, and sometimes offensive coordinators like to protect plays, and and not bring them out till certain weeks and things that which I think is stupid. Just do it, just play, just play. But I'm trusting in Dan Campbell and his staff. They haven't screwed us yet. Yeah, they have made some mistakes. Last week was huge there at the end of the first half when they missed out on getting a field goal or spiking the ball there because of some miscommunication. That's inexcusable. But let's see. We need to nail a running back. We can spend some money.
Yep, we can.
How do you feel about Derrick Henry? How do you feel about Dobbins? I know the Pittsburgh run defense is tough, but he's
I was
so
kind of
damn
looking
good.
at Kamara.
All right.
Kamara's done really well.
Let's do that.
Oops.
I'm fine with that. Kamara's good. Kamara's good.
And then for the flex,
$5,600.
hey, there sits DeAndre Swift. Zamir White, but we've already got Bowers, Brandon Cooks, Javonte.
Yeah. I know you were pushing Swift this week. I was kind of, we'll see, but I'll go with that. Swift it is. Purdy, Pollard, Kamara, Jennings, JSN, Marvin Harrison, Bowers, Swift, and the Bears.
Enter.
The Bears.
Hopefully we win something with that.
Sweet. All right.
That'd be nice.
I'm in. Back to the sports book here. Stand by. We talked about that. Lions, Cardinals. This Sunday night game tonight, Chiefs, Falcons. Chiefs are finally having to venture outside of Arrowhead.
Yeah, no shit.
On the road for the first time this season in Atlanta. The line is Chiefs -3.
Total
That's
of
actually a little
46
closer
and a
than
half.
it's a little closer than I thought it would be. I thought Chiefs might be pushing 4.5-ish or something like that. But I like the Chiefs in this game, but watching Atlanta last week in the second half, especially the last few minutes, that offense looked good. Of course, it was against, like a prevent type defense, and they just took their shots and made it. But you definitely saw something there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Loud Boy, I saw both your tight ends are hurt. One of them's Taysom Hill, who probably shouldn't even be rostered. But yes, I think you dropped him for, would you pick up Jasecki, which is a good choice this week for a fill-in. I went with Hunter Henry this week instead of Evan Ingram in a league, and we all saw how that turned out. Anybody that started a Patriots player on Thursday is hurting. I know Loud Boy started Ramondre and got a point or something.
Yeah, I started Ramondre and Hunter Henry in a league just due to necessity with Evan Ingram being hurt, and they combined to get me like 3 points.
Yeah.
So yeah, I need some big days from other players.
It's fantastic. It is fantastic. So the Ravens got to go to Dallas today. They're 0-2. They have to win this game, I think.
Yes, they do.
Many teams, when they start 0-2, do not make the playoffs.
And it's always funny when people talk about that, because from just a fundamental, like, common sense standpoint, what's the difference between losing the first 2 games or losing weeks 10 and 11? Like, there's functionally no difference. It's still a 2-game losing streak. It's just a matter of when you do it, and when it's where like all the overreactions come from, right? Because it's the only 2 games that have been played. Oh my God, what's going on in Baltimore? They're screwed. Fucking Lamar's done. No, it is what it is. Now, I don't think anybody expected them to lose to the Raiders, aside from maybe the Raiders. But Minshew's beat them a couple years in a row now. At the end of the day, I think they're going to be fine. they're in the same boat as the Bengals, 0-2.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Bengals played so much better last week. Jesus, they looked good. They really know how to play in Kansas City.
Well, I mean, it's their kryptonite.
You're
Josh
right.
Allen can't beat them in the playoffs, not even at home.
That's true.
So
That is true. Yeah. Baltimore got to go down there and win. I'm sure our Lord and Savior Tom Brady is announcing that game on Fox today.
probably.
I haven't really got to listen to him, so except
I saw
clips you
a
hear in Red
rumor,
Zone.
speaking of the Cowboys, that they're, I guess, putting out some feelers or something to that effect about bringing back Amari Cooper. I think
That would be
if I'm
big.
Cleveland, like, screw it. I'm just going to tank this year, try and get a top 3 pick and draft a quarterback.
They're going to have to tank for years again.
Well, I
with,
mean,
with a huge dent in their frickin' free agent pool. Oh my God. Stupid contract. Stupid people. Stupid
yes,
people
that
should
was
not run sports franchises. They should not.
all that guaranteed money, all those first round picks. Just, yeah, they set that franchise back. And I'm not a big Baker Mayfield guy, but they could have just kept him.
They set that franchise back while propelling the Houston Texans franchise
Oh God.
into a AFC contender.
Yep. And they made some smart additions here in the off season and improved their pass rush. So it's
Will
fun,
Anderson
man.
Will Anderson's good.
You don't
He was
say.
good last year, but it was a more, I'll say, under the radar good, but that guy's good.
Have we hit on all the games?
I don't know. We've kind of blathered on a little bit with the 2 or 3 people that are in here. The Monday night games are bleh.
Yeah, not super enticing. Lions are on Monday night next week, though, and they are currently 4-point favorites.
Home against Seattle. The Lions.
Kryptonite.
I'm definitely in belief that was Pete Carroll, and he's no longer there, so we must start anew. But yeah, that'll be a huge game.
I believe Loud Boy will be in attendance at that game.
Oh, cool. Awesome. That'll
Watching
be great.
it in person.
That will be great. Heck yeah. What else we got?
I'm scrolling up.
Broncos, Giants, Browns.
Yeah, there's
Not much.
Bears and the Colts. I know people are excited for that around here, and that 43 total.
Yeah,
shitty offensive line against a shitty run defense.
Yeah, that Colts defense is not so great. Not so great. And the interior portion of the Chicago O-line is weak.
Not so great.
No, pretty weak. And you're going to see they can't pass block either very well. Like they can't run block or pass block very well. And you got a rookie quarterback, and if there's people in your face immediately up the middle, it's just not going to work out.
No, not really. And they're without Keenan Allen, which he's a big part of that offense, or at least in theory. Rome Odunze he's not carrying a designation, and you got DJ Moore, but I don't know, dude. Everyone was talking about just how great of a situation that Caleb Williams was going to be in, and all they mentioned was skill position players. And, the defense, which is a good defense.
Yep. In the beginning of the year, I went, watch out for that Chicago defense. I think they'll be good. And they are.
Mm-hmm.
But can only do so much. I mean, they only won that first game because of their defense.
Yeah.
They had, I don't know, special teams touchdown and a defensive touchdown, I think. I can't exactly remember. Yeah, I think it was. But I don't know. Dubo says sacks and big passes in Minnesota, Houston, and sacks is probably right. Definitely pressures. You know, Brian Flores is gonna be blitzing.
Oh,
GBB. Dude. That's all that guy does.
He blitzes a lot. He blitzes from everywhere. He's a damn good defensive coordinator. Now, as a head coach, he didn't necessarily fare so well. And by some of the reports coming out of there after his tenure was up, he may be lacking in some people skills. But when it comes to coaching football, that dude is damn good.
Yeah. But being a head coach, people skills are definitely something that is good. Of course, Bill Belichick won a bunch of Super Bowls and doesn't really. It's always kind of gruff and probably not.
He was more gruff with the media, though, as
That's
opposed.
true.
I mean, the players, like, you know, they said he was tough, but, you know, he was, I don't want to say universally loved, but you didn't hear a whole lot of bad shit coming out of there.
Yeah. Yeah. Heck yeah. Let's see. I don't got anything else. I can't think of anything else. We're just kind of blabbing on today.
Yeah. Well, what do you say we call it a wrap then?
Let's do that. We'll get out of here.
A quiet session today.
Thanks everybody for joining us. Appreciate it. Give us a like and subscribe. We'd appreciate that too. We'll be back Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for week 4 waivers. Help you out, try and help you win that matchup in week 4. I'm sure there'll be plenty of injuries to discuss as well, and waivers, of course. So have a great day. Good luck in all your matchups, and smoke them if you got them.
See you, folks.